Let me tell you a story. About a week ago, a follower reached out to me, and they were dealing with some pretty difficult stuff. And I told them this story, and they told me it really helped them, and that I should share it with you guys. But this story deals with some pretty dark subject matter, and it's difficult for me to tell, but it does have a happy ending. There was this guy that suffered from severe anxiety and depression, along with thoughts of suicide. 2019 ended with a lot of hope for him, because his ex, the love of his life, reached out to him, after ghosting him for some time. She made it very clear that they were just going to be acquaintances enjoying each other's time. But he saw it as an opportunity to rebuild a relationship that he destroyed. And she still had rightfully a lot of pain in her heart because of the things he did. Over the next few months, he started working on himself and fixing all the bad things. He worked harder on himself in those few months than anything he had in his entire life. But it always felt like every time he took a step forward, she would take two back. She didn't know if she could ever love or trust him again. He ended up getting a really good job. The job was a good job. And he honestly loved the job, but with all the mental pressures on him, it wasn't a good time to move, and he slowly allowed his personal life to degrade his career. Then in September of 2020, she just went ghost again, with little to no warning. In her defense, there was no other way for her to get space from a guy like that, because even after he tried to get her attention, but he failed. And even though she had every right for her space, this action destroyed him. A few weeks went by and he tried to be patient, but then he started hearing rumors that she was talking to other guys and on dating profiles. At that point, he lost all hope, and October 28th of 2020 was the darkest day of his life. He felt like he had accomplished nothing in his life, and that everyone in his life would be better off without him. And he went home and he wrote a note. He grabbed his pistol, loaded a magazine, chambered a round, put the gun to his head and pulled the trigger. The gun functioned the way it was supposed to. The firing pin struck the bullet, but the bullet didn't go off, and all he heard was a click. And in that moment, he experienced a cocktail of emotions that he never wants to feel again. And in that moment, he heard a phrase. And that phrase was, "We only fail in this life when we give up." And if it wasn't for that phrase, he probably would have tried again. But he put the gun away, and he pushed on. He wasn't magically cured. He still suffered from all of it, but he didn't give up. A few weeks later, he got a call about a job in the field that he loves. A few weeks after that, his ex, the love of his life, called him, and she told him that she loved him, and she just needed some time to figure it all out. And they haven't left each other's side since. Then in January, he posted a video on TikTok, and his phone died. And when it turned back on, the notifications poured in, and they never stopped. And as of today, 300,000 people have chosen to follow him, and he still doesn't know why. But the best part is, for the last month and a half, he hasn't had a single thought about hurting himself, and he hasn't had to take a single pill to do that, because those 300,000 people helped him find something he lost a long time ago. And there's no way he can ever repay them for that. Thank you guys for 300K. I love all of you more than I'll ever be able to express.